Hi everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the channel, and I am here for a list video for you guys. Now for this list, we're going to be going over, in my opinion, what are the best albums of the year 2011, albums that'll be turning 10 this year, of course. This is another anniversary video. Now I thought about doing one for 2001 as well, since I haven't done one yet, but I don't know if I will, because to be honest with you guys, there's really only like maybe 3 or 4 albums that came out that year that I actually like, as of right now, that is. And I really don't want to do a list video for '01 for just 3 albums, especially for an anniversary list video, of course. But we're going to do one for 2011, of course. Now, 2011 also wasn't the greatest year for music, but I have 6 albums here, so, I mean, that's enough to make a anniversary video, I guess. I guess it was enough to make it worth doing a video. But yeah, this list is in no particular order too, so let's go ahead and begin. And I think the first album we'll talk about is Red, Until We Have Faces. Now with this album, it's not one of Red's best albums, but I do like it though. I do think it is still a very good album. I mean, there's a lot of really good songs on here: Feed the Machine, Faceless, Let It Burn, Buried Beneath, and of course Hymn for the Missing, which is one of their most, just one of their best ballads, I would say. Best Is Yet to Come is probably my least favorite on the album, but it's passable, I guess. But Until We Have Faces by Red, I mean, Red is a really great band, and this is a pretty strong album. And Feed the Machine is actually my favorite song of theirs to hear live, because if you didn't know, I have seen Red in concert a couple times. Both times they play that song, and man, every time they play that song live, I mean, it's just fantastic. But yeah, very good album. So Until We Have Faces by Red. So next in this list, we got In Flames with Sounds of a Playground Fading. I know some people say that this is one of In Flames' weakest albums, but not to me. I think this is actually a pretty good album. I mean, it's obviously not one of In Flames' best. I mean, their best material comes from the 90s era. I mean, that's something that goes without saying, of course, but I do think that this album is maybe their best since maybe Clayman or Reroute to Remain. And I know that's I know that's gonna get me flack from some people, but I don't know. I think this album is kind of underrated. I actually don't mind this one. Now, maybe the reason I like this album quite a bit is because of nostalgia, maybe. Because if you didn't know, this was actually my first In Flames album. I know some people might say it's not a very good start, but I'll be real with you. I don't even know if I were to even, if I would have even became an In Flames fan if I did start with their, Megadeth stuff. But yeah, so this album was my gateway to In Flames, so maybe that's part of it. But I don't know. I think there is some really good songs on here. I think the one thing that this album does right is they kind of combine their new sound in with their old sound. Like, even though this is not a Megadeth album, it still has some of that, some of those elements in here. I mean, there is some good songs on here, like The Puzzle, Fear is the Weakness, Where the Dead Ships Dwell, The Attic. I mean, The Attic is, it's a bit different, kind of dark sounding. I do like it though. You also got A New Dawn, which A New Dawn I think is maybe one of their most underrated songs. I just really like the heaviness that's incorporated with the orchestral stuff that's going on in the song. I mean, it's a really good song. I mean, there is some strong stuff on this album, so I don't think this album is as bad as some people make it out to be. And I do think that it's easily the best of their 2010s material. I mean, that goes without saying. But yeah, so Sounds of a Playground Fading by In Flames. Pretty good album, definitely worthy of being on the list. Next album up, we got Trivium in Waves. And with this album, it's not my favorite Trivium album, but I do think it is a very good album for sure. I mean, a lot of great songs on here, of course. Title track, I mean, the title track is just iconic at this point. I mean, definitely catchy, very memorable. I mean, you got Built to Fall, Forsake Not the Dream, All of These Yesterdays, which is more of a ballad. I kind of like it. I mean, I don't know if it's one of my favorites on the album, but I do think it is a pretty good song. But yeah, I mean, pretty good album. I know some people say that this is the best of their 2010s material. I'm not sure if I would go that far. I would say that The Sin in the Sentence is the best of their 2010s material, but this is still a very good album, though, and I do like it. I mean, if you're into metalcore, check out this album. I mean, Trivium, they're a really great band. Definitely one of the best metal bands to come from the 2000s, of course. And yeah, so In Waves by Trivium, pretty strong album. Next, we got Anthrax with Worship Music. And yeah, this is not one of Anthrax's best albums, but I do think it is a very strong album, though. I mean, there's just a lot of really good stuff on this album. I mean, the production is excellent. This was the Anthrax's comeback album, and yeah, pretty strong comeback album, I'd say. Now, I don't think it's one of the best comeback albums in the world or anything, but it is a good album, though. I mean, you got songs like Fight 'Em Till You Can't, I'm Alive, and I can't talk. Revolution Screams. That song, really good. But yeah, Worship Music by Anthrax, really good album. Next, we got some Megadeth, and the album that's up next is Megadeth 13. Yeah, pretty good album. This is not one of Megadeth's best. I mean, obviously, you could probably tell at this point that this was the year where, you know, there weren't many bands that were putting out their best material at this point in 2011, but yeah, so this is not one of Megadeth's best, but I do think it is a good album still. I mean, you got Sudden Death, you got We the People, you know, just to name a couple tracks. I mean, those are probably my favorites on the album, but yeah, 13 by Megadeth. It's a good album, but it's just not one of their best. I mean, Megadeth, they're a really good band. I mean, definitely one of the best thrash metal bands, so this album had to make the list. Finally, we got Dream Theater with A Dramatic Turn of Events. Yeah, definitely a good album. Like with the others, this is not one of Dream Theater's best. I mean, this is a good album still, though. I definitely like this one. I mean, you got great songs on here like On the Backs of Angels, Build Me Up, Break Me Down. You also got Breaking All Illusions, pretty lengthy song. And you also got Beneath the Surface, which is a more relaxing type ballad song, and I like it. I like this one. I mean, Dream Theater does a really good job with their ballads. I mean, I think they're maybe one of my favorite bands that do ballads, I guess. I think that they're one of those bands that have the best ballads, if that makes sense. But so yeah, pretty strong album. Not one of Dream Theater's best, of course, but I do think it's a very good album. So A Dramatic Turn of Events by Dream Theater. Really good album. Well, there you have it. Those are my picks for the top best albums of the year 2011. So let me know what you think. What are some of your favorite albums that came out in the year 2011? So let me know what you think of this list. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.